Friday Night LOX goes 8-2 last weekend.
Big weekend.
Casey's kept calling his book the Bible. Finally paid off. Finally looked like the Bible.
New Testament.
The New Testament is in. Forget the Genesis stuff. Old is out, new is in. He went 5-0. I went 3-2. Perfect weekend for Casey. That's an
solid
8-2 between the two of us. 80% weekend. We have not had a collective losing week yet. Here we go. We're going to continue the hot streak. And let's make some more money, guys, huh? Let's
do it.
Casey's.
Do it.
All right, I'll start off with my 5 brain busters for the weekend. First, on Saturday, Missouri versus South Carolina. You're going to want to hop on Missouri +2. Lockett QB, I think he's awesome. I think he could be a great pro quarterback. South Carolina and Bentley's knee has been bothering him, so I think that might come into play. Lock and that offense can move the ball up and down the field. Yes, South Carolina is at home. Yes, South Carolina has a better defense, but offensively, I don't think they're going to be able to contain them. I think Missouri is definitely going to. I think they're just going to be able to move the ball way too much. And I think Missouri's the better team, all in all, and they're getting 2 points.
Yeah.
The better team's getting 2 points. You got to take
that.
them +2. Boom. Second, Oklahoma versus Texas. I was actually surprised.
Red River Rivalry. You're going for it, huh?
That's going to be even redder when this bout is over.
Oh.
Oklahoma -7. I'm surprised this line is this low. Oklahoma just is blowing teams away. Yes, Texas is starting to look good as of late.
Texas is on fire.
They have, but
Yeah.
they haven't played a team like Oklahoma. I think they are
True.
far, far superior. I think you got to take Oklahoma -7. I thought this line would be 10+. Oklahoma wins this game by 2 touchdowns. Hop on Oklahoma -7.
Yeah, I like that number.
My third pick. I've picked this team a few times, I think, in Friday Night LOX. Syracuse, man. They are looking great. They were still one of the most underrated teams. The fact that they're only having to lay 3 points versus Pitt. Pitt is on a downward trend.
Wow.
I think that continues. I think Pitt bottoms out this week. Syracuse, look at how they did against Clemson that first half, man. They were winning after the first half. Threw it all around, man. The Syracuse is the real deal. I think they definitely win that game, certainly by more than 3. Right now the line's at 3.5, obviously by the hook. Take Syracuse -3. They're awesome. Number 4, LSU versus Florida. I am finally a believer of the LSU Tigers, man. They look great. Florida, I just think LSU is far more dominant, and they're finally coming together. I think they're by far one of the best teams in the country. They just continue to perform and doubt the doubters even more. Florida, in my opinion, isn't nearly as complete, isn't as well coached. You got to hop on that LSU -2.5. LSU is going to get that done. And my 5th pick, the only pro football pick of the weekend. Yes.
Let me guess.
You know what's coming. What am I going to say?
The Rams.
You've got to keep riding the Rams. They are by far the best team in football right now. They just had that added rest, so they played Thursday night 2 weeks ago, so they've had an extra 3 or 4 days to prepare, to rest. Yes, they're going into Seattle Seahawks territory, one of the toughest stadiums to play, and it's a touchdown. But with Earl Thomas getting injured, now he's out. He was probably their best defense. He is their best defensive player. He's gone. I don't think they're going to be able to contain the Seahawks, or the Seahawks are going to be able to contain the Rams. Other than Russell Wilson on offense, man, that is their only playmaker right now, and the Seahawks O-line looks pretty weak, and I think the Rams offensively and defensively are going to get after it. You've got to keep riding the Rams until they show us otherwise. They are blowing teams out, and they will continue to do so.
All right. You got a lot of riding on this because that was a solid week last week. But
yes, it was.
I'll start out with your pick. I'm taking the Rams too. I see them at 7.5 right now by the hook. I think 7 points. I think it's going to be a solid game, but Rams offense is just too strong. Yeah.
They're so good. And don't be worried about Peters and Talib. If they're still injured or banged up. I haven't checked the injury report on them.
It's offense. But the offense is going to make the points. Yeah, Seattle's not doing that.
I think it still doesn't matter. I think Seahawks offense isn't going to be able to compete.
That's a good one. That's a solid pick. All right. We actually have some differences this week.
Do we?
So, I'm taking Stanford +5 on Utah. Why? They just lost to Notre Dame, so they've got something to prove. Love is going to run all over the place. They make turnovers happen. Utah's still trying to figure it out. They've lost some really tough games.
Yeah.
Plus, they like to throw it around, and I think it's not going to pay off in this game. I think Stanford by a touchdown in that game.
Right.
First pick, Number 2, this is a bit of an upset, but this is the kind of week when upsets happen. When especially, it's within the Pac-12 here. I'm calling UCLA plus 24 on Washington.
Ooh.
3 touchdowns.
Washington Huskies, yeah.
The Huskies, yeah. I think they're number 11 right now or something. They've looked good, but I think Chip Kelly dials it up for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows he's played for a while. I mean, he's been behind the booth for a little while, but he's been at UCLA the last 4 games.
Yep.
They've been up and down. They do only score 17 points, but I just think 21 points is way too many. I think Chip Kelly, it's going to be a blowout. Chip Kelly's going to kind of inch their way back into that game. Going to be like 14, I don't know, maybe 20 points. It's going to be close, but UCLA is going to hit that 21 points.
He's got to right the ship at some point, right?
Yep.
I think that's a good weekend. I agree. That's a lot of points.
I got another one where you're going to right that ship, or at least
do.
something's going to happen. Is I'm taking A&M minus 5.5. If I can get the hook, if I can get 6 on Kentucky.
Ooh.
Kentucky's undefeated. They are hot. They are hot, right?
Sizzling. They are hot.
They beat Mississippi State, solid team, beat Florida earlier in the year. But I just think that the coaching is going to play up here. I think you're finally going to get it going with A&M. I mean, they've lost to Clemson, Alabama. The Clemson game was tight. Alabama, I mean, it's the best team. But
good teams.
I think this is where A&M comes in real tight. I think it's a field goal, and maybe A&M wins, but at least take the 5.5, try and take it to 6. And then where we disagree. I went to the LSU Florida game about like 12 years ago, and
I went a while ago too. Best party ever.
They get serious.
I mean, it
is. I mean, I think this is where home field advantage is going to take in. It's at Florida. It's at the Swamp.
Okay.
All right. Florida, they're a solid team. I think they're a solid team, and I think LSU has been riding high. This is the week they lose. This is the week home field advantage comes in.
Upset.
And I think Florida take the +3. I think I'm going to take them to lose on another bet.
Okay.
That's my picks. Stanford, UCLA, Florida, A&M, and the Rams.
Keep riding that Ram train.
All right. See you next week.